11th of December, Rabbi, more Parsha Hashavua with Rashi. Okay, now we're ready to go. Mir tells me we're up to Pasuk 8.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, Pasuk 8, correct. Who was reading? I don't remember now who was up to.
I don't either. I wasn't here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so Lou, are you going to start?
Okay, Pasuk Ches. Vayihi baboker va tifaem. Tifaem. Tipaem. Rucho v'yishlach vayikra es kol chartumei Mitzrayim ve'es kol chachameha vayisaper paro lahem es chalomo ve'ein poser osam lefaro. So it means, and it was in the morning, that his spirit was agitated.
Very good.
And he sent
4.
and he called all the Khartoumei, I think is magicians.
Yeah, the sorcerers.
Mitzrayim of Egypt. To Eskol Chachameha and all the wise men. Vayisaper, and he told, and Paro told Lahem them, Es Cholomo, his dream, Ve'ein Poser Osam Lefaro, but none of them could interpret it for him, for Paro. So Rashi says.
By the way, note, there's a little bit of a grammatical difficulty here. It says, Vayisaper Paro lohem eschaloimoi, singular, his dream. Ve'ein posfer oisom lefaroi. And they could not interpret the them for Paro.
Yeah, the English says it the way you just read it. The English says it also.
Okay, thank you, Mr. English. That was a correct. That's the way that you're supposed to translate the Parsha. But it's striking, right?
Right.
He told them his dream, singular, and they could not interpret them for Para. But we'll see about this because I mentioned this yesterday. Because you have a pasuk. Where does it say? We haven't come across it yet. But yes, it says, Behold, it was a dream. Okay?
Singular.
And the Farshim explain over here, there was one dream. Even though it appeared to be 2 dreams, it was actually one dream. Right. In fact, one of the Pirushim on Rashi, it's called the Or Hayosha, learns that when it says that Paro there were 2 parts of the dream. There was a dream of the cows and the dream of the sheaves, right? Of the stalks, rather, not sheaves, the stalks. And he learns that there was already all one dream. And when it says Paro woke up, he woke up in the dream.
The dream was a dream.
Not that he actually woke up. He woke up in the dream and then went back to sleep again.
What do you mean in the dream?
in the dreams. Therefore, that's why it says, V'hinei chaloim. Pharaoh woke up in Pasuk Zayin, woke up and he behold, it was a dream. One dream, not two.
Right.
Okay? So
Yeah.
whereas, so that was the thing over here, where Pharaoh told over his dream, singular, to his sorcerers and wise men. They were interpreting as if it was two dreams. And that didn't satisfy Pharaoh.
Right.
Okay, let's see the Rashi here.
Okay, so umitar pa rucha. His spirit was stirred. Mikash keshes bisocho kifa'amon. Shaking about inside him like a bell.
Like the clapper of a bell.
Yeah, my English says the clapper, but it's not bold.
That's what I'm adding in.
Right. So that's what it means when it says he was agitated, that his spirit was shaking around like the clapper of a bell.
Right.
Uvin vu chad netzer omer batis pa'eh rucho.
Poem.
Batis pa'em rucho. But Nebuchadnezzar, it says, and his spirit was agitated itself. Lefi shehayu sham shtei mos. For there were two causes of agitation. Shich chas hachalom, the forgetting of the dream, v'ha'alamas pisrono, and the concealment of its interpretation. So it's making a difference between what Nebuchadnezzar experienced and what Paro experienced.
Right.
Chartumei, the sorcerers. Hanecherim betimei mesim, those who disturb bones of the dead.
Disturb?
Disturb, yeah.
I understood it differently. Anyway, means they I wouldn't say disturb necessarily, means they inquire. Means that they ask, it's part of witchcraft. They ask the bones what's going to be in the future.
Right, it's going to say that next. Shisho alin ba'atzamos.
Right.
For they consult the bones.
Right.
Timei hein atzamos bilashon arami.
Right. The word timei is not from the word tuma, but the word timei means bones in Aramaic.
Aramaic. Uva mishna base shehu malay ti maya. And in the Mishnah, it says a house that is filled with timaya, which means malay atzamos, filled with bones.
So basically, Rashi explaining that word chartumei in this sense, is an acronym, right? It's a contraction of the words Hanachrim betumei mesim. Betumei mesim. Chartum, right, means somebody who's inquires of the bones of the dead.
That's probably why my English translates Chartume as necromancers.
Right.
Ve'ein poser osam lefaro. Potrim hayu osam. They did interpret them. Aval lo lefaro, but not for Paro. Shalo haya kolan
Korath. Oh, sorry, Kolon, yes. Nichnas Ba'asna.
nas be'aznav, for their voice did not enter his ears, i.e., he didn't accept what they said. Velo haya lo koras ruach, that he did not have peace of mind. Befis ronam, with their interpretation. Shahayu omrim, for they would say, Sheva banos ata molid, 7 daughters you shall give birth to, you shall be the father of.
Right.
Visheva banos ata kover, and 7 daughters you shall bury. I wouldn't be too pleased with that interpretation either.
Didn't want to say anything. Didn't want to sound chauvinistic. Anyway. I call upon him. Yeah, so that's the idea. So why Dafka this was an interpretation of the 2 dreams, I don't know. But I mean, and I don't want to be saying that the females can be compared. Sorry. 1 second. Yeah. That the females are compared to cows. I mean, especially in the pshat is that they're going to be born. Cows are often used as a marshal, a symbol of prolification. Right? By the way, Peru, Uravu, and Para are from the same root.
Oh,
Multiply, and the term for cow, Para, is because cows are generally prolific. They denote prolification. Okay. Let's go on. Pasuk Tes. There's no actually Rashi till Pasuk Yud Aleph. But anyway, let's start with Pasuk Tes.
okay. Let's see. Vaydaber sar ha-mashkim et paro lemor et chata'ai ani mazkir hayom. Okay, so the minister of the cupbearers said, I guess saying to Paro, et chata'ai. What's that? My sins? My sins I remember today. Maskir.
My sins, yes.
Oh, okay.
I am mentioning, or I'm bringing to recollecting my sins today.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Okay. Yud, Paro Katzaf, Al Avadav, Vayiten Oti, Mishmar Beit Sar, Tabachim, Oti V'yetzar Ha'ofim. Okay, so Pharaoh got angry at his servants, and
placed me in custody.
it's me. Oh, okay. The Mishmar under guard, I guess. Beit Sar.
In the house of the chief butcher.
Butcher. Uh-huh. Okay. Me and the minister of the bakers. Okay.
The chief baker.
Chief baker. Okay, that was Yud. Yud Aleph. The Nachalma. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, no, okay. V'nachalma chalom balayla echad, ani vahu ish kefitron chalomo chalamdu. So let's see. We dreamt a dream on one night, and I and he ish kefitron.
Each man took the interpretation of his dream.
Oh, interpretation of his dream. Okay, that we dreamed. Okay, so let's see. Rashi. Ish kefitron chalomo. According to the interpretation of his dream, chalom hara'oi. The dream was fit. Le pitron sheniftar lanu. I guess for the interpretation that it was interpreted for us.
Yeah.
Bidome lo. And it was similar to it.
Right. Meaning it closely resembled the dream. Whereas the interpretation of the dream fit in very well with the dream itself.
Uh-huh. Very good.
Okay. Let's go on Pasuk Yud base. Lou?
Good base. No Rashi on
Yeah, there was a short Rashi, Lou.
No, just a short Rashi on Yud Aleph. We did that.
okay. I see. According to interpretation. Okay. Visham Itanu Naar Ivri Eved Lisar. We're almost done. Hatabachim Vanisafer Lo Vayif Tar Lanu Es Cholo Mose Nu Ish Kachalo Mo Pasar. And there with us was a youth, Hebrew youth, a slave to the minister of the butchers, and we related to him, and he interpreted for us our dreams. Each man, according with his dream, he interpreted.
Meaning he gave a very good interpretation of each dream.
Right. Naar Ivri Eved, says Rashi. Arurim Harishaim. Cursed are the wicked. She'ain tovasam shelema. That their goodness is not complete. Mazkiro bilashon bizayon. He mentions in a demeaning expression.
Right.
Nar, a youth. Shoteh, a fool. Nar, a youth, meaning shoteh, a fool. Ve'ein roi ligdula, and not fit for greatness. Ivri, a Hebrew. Afilu lishonenu eno makir. He is even familiar with our language.
Not familiar.
He is not even familiar with our language.
Right.
Eved, a slave. Vikasuv b'nimusei Mitzrayim, as it is written.
And it is written, not as. And it is.
And it is written in the protocols of Egypt. She'ein eved molech. A slave cannot rule. Velo lovesh bigdei sarim. And he may not wear the garments of a prince.
Right. No, in with royal garments or robes of nobility.
Ish kacha lomo. A man according to his dream. Lefi hachalom, according to the dream, the karov le'in yano, and close to its content.
Right. So it's subject. Yeah. Now it's interesting. I mean, we know the end of the story is that after Yosef interprets the dream for Paro, right? Paro appoints him as the to be his viceroy.
Right.
That's very strange, you know. Okay, fine. You interpreted the dream for me. Thank you very much. I'll give you a nice remuneration for your services, but he should become the viceroy. Why, you know? And yet here we see that in the Sarah Mashkim's disparaging description of Yosef, he's trying to speak about him disparagingly in order that he should not be appointed to any high position as the result of interpreting the dreams. So you see, even in the Sarah Mashkim's words and in his mind, obviously he realized that this could be a possible end result, that Yosef's going to be appointed to a high position, which is pretty amazing. I also wanted to mention another point. Yeah. I mean, obviously the Sar Mashkin realized that Yosef had tremendous potential to him. And he obviously realized that if Paro sees that potential, then he's going to want him actually to appoint him as viceroy. So therefore, that's why he decided to put him down, that he wouldn't get to any position of high position in Paro's government.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Pasuk Yud Gimel.
Why does the Sarah Mashkim say, "I remember my sins"? That doesn't seem. That seems like a very humble thing to say. It doesn't seem like what Rasha would say.
Yeah, I just thought of another thing is, how many sins did he sin?
Well, presumably his sin is that he didn't remember Yosef.
I understood that ostensibly he's saying Parakotzav alavodov. Paro got angry, and that's I did something wrong. I sinned against Paro.
Oh, okay.
But
So
it
then
could
there's
well
two.
be that is the second sin. What he's indicating is one, I sinned against Paro, and also I sinned against Yosef, but I didn't mention to Paro earlier that this guy there in the dungeon who knows how to interpret dreams.
So why would he point that out? I would think that he would kind of want to keep that under the rug.
By the way, as obviously you realize that if had the Sarah Mashkin mentioned and made a plea on Yosef's behalf as soon as he came out, so maybe he would have gotten free, but he would not have become viceroy of Egypt.
Right.
That's clear. Okay.
Yeah.
Mind you, I don't know if Yosef was looking for such a job. I mean, he got landed up with the job, right? And he did it to his best of his ability, but I don't think he was actually looking for such a job somehow.
Right.
But obviously, when it happened, he realized this Akash Baruch would put him in this position for a purpose. Okay. Pasuk Yud Gimel. Meir.
Okay, it says, Vayhi kasher patar lanu, kain haya oti,
Kain
heshi.
Haya, comma.
Oh, kain haya. Oh,
Hosi Haishiv al Kani Vosoi Sola.
oh, that's interesting. Okay, oti heshiva al kani voto tala. Okay, so, and it just happened as he interpreted it for us. So it
So it was.
was, okay, me, he restored,
To my position.
okay, to my position, okay, and him, he hanged.
Right.
That's, okay, anyway. Let's see, Heshiv al Kani, he restored to my post, okay.
Who's he?
Okay, well, this had to be the cupbearer.
Yeah, no, this is the Butler speaking. But who's he returned to my position? He restored me to my position. Who's
Ah,
he? So Rashi says, one obviously would one's in the position to do that. Paro, and his Kalamala.
oh, who's he? Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. So it says Farnis Karlamala, Pharaoh, who was mentioned before up above, Kemosha Ne'amar, so Kemosha Amar, as he said, Paro Katsaf al Avadav. Pharaoh got angry at his servants. Hare Mikra Kitzar Lashon. So now let's see. Mikra is a verse, a pasuk.
This is like an abbreviated pasuk, a verse which speaks in an abbreviated manner.
Oh, okay. Below Perashmi Heshev. Okay, so it did not explain who was restored. Okay. Lefi she'ein tzarik lefaresh. He's, for it did not need.
One doesn't need to elaborate.
Okay, right. Mi Heshiv. Who?
Who restored him to his position?
Okay, who restored? Okay. Mi shebiyado lahashiv. So one who had the power to do it. Okay, Vahu Pharaoh, and this was Pharaoh. V'chein derek kol mikraot ketzarim. And this was the way of all shortened verses. Okay. Al mi shall love lasot, for the
Whoever
one
was required to do it, whoever is incumbent to do it,
to do it. Okay. Haim sot mim et hadavar. What's so mean? I don't know.
is the verse remains inexplicit with saying
Oh,
who it
okay.
is.
It's not specific. Okay. Very good.
Okay,
I have to disagree with Rashi here.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
I have to disagree with Rashi.
why?
He says that Paro was the one who had the power to restore him. But we know from the Gemara, I believe in Brachos,
Yeah.
that it says that the interpreter of the dream determines what happens. So by interpreting the dream, Yosef was in the position to cause what happened.
Yeah, but that's true. On the other hand, if he's going to foresee what's going to be in the future, right? I mean, even the interpreter of the dream cannot, shall we say, dictate to HaKadosh Baruch Hu what to do.
I understood from what was stated in the Gemara
I
that
know exactly what you're referring to.
he does. He what he says, it says that he gave bad interpretations, and they came true, and then the person who was the recipient of those bad interpretations got really angry with him.
Because he could have interpreted differently.
Right, because he had been wicked in doing that.
Right. Yeah, but okay, so but nevertheless, even the somebody who interprets dreams cannot dictate to HaKadosh Baruch Hu what to do. Okay, it has to be clearly understood what is pshat in that Gemara, because how can it do? As you what you're saying is correct, but then we have to reconcile it with the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one to decide anything, and not the person who interprets the dream. So obviously, there's a certain amount of leeway which HaKadosh Baruch Hu allows for anybody to interpret a dream to formulate an interpretation. Okay, I prefer not to go into it now, because it's a major subject.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not as simple as you think. I mean, obviously, the person who can't the dream interpreter has to, even though he has a level of leeway to be able to interpret the dream for the good or the bad, but he's still limited by the actual dream itself. It's got to be the interpretation has to fit in with the dream. Can't just. I mean, the guy says he dreamt he's drinking coffee, and the guy's going to tell him, he says, "Oh, he means they're going to win the lottery."
Sorry, I have to go now. It's very late.
Okay, fine. See that. Okay, well, we'll see. And it's a discussion for another time. Fine.
Okay, very good. Be well.
Culture.
Good afternoon.